meetings and attempt to continue to engage with the media. Our next speaker is Dr. Pharoan, and I would just tell everybody that the reason we have the podium tonight instead of the table is we're going to have a budget presentation, and it's just easier to do it that way through the podium. So, just if anybody's wondering why we haven't changed, it was in anticipation of a lectern, excuse me. Thank you, Mr. Yulfeld. But that's why it's like that tonight, because Dr. Dance is going to be presenting the budget a little later this evening. It's a little easier to do it that way. Anyway, didn't count against your time, Dr. Pharoan, and I'm happy to see you, and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you again, and I really like the podium. I probably have to adjust my computer a little bit. I would like to try to be positive today, although I do apologize, I'm not really well prepared. I would like to propose to the board to consider some of my points at least to improve the communication between the public and the board. For instance, in the Mays Chapel new school, I think it is more important really for the community in general, for the school system to consider raising the level of floors in the school rather than to go for a new building. I know it's more complex than that, but I have been sitting here for 9 years, and the tendency is really to go for a new land, and thus the whole county would become like a parking lot in the future. The second point that I would like to try to impress on you, that it is really important for board members to show compassion and understanding with the community. I mean, body language is really important. And again, I would go back to the Mays Chapel example where at least 2 board members were really too tough with the community. The third one that I would like to mention to you, and it relates to the similar subject, when a community appeals an issue for whatever reason, and the school system loses, if we can use that term, I think it should be really clear. For instance, I really didn't know about Mays Chapel winning the case in MSDE until I read it in the newspaper. I think it will reflect good on the board to recognize that. The next one that I think would be important also for the minutes to reflect all the points clearly for the public. For instance, my points are really summarized too short. In the instance of Mays Chapel, their points have been minimized severely in the minutes. And I think it would be better for the school system to reflect that more accurately. Next item that I like to ask you is to answer the questions contemporaneously, which I asked before. The question of Mr. Collins, myself before that, Jasmine Shriver, in relation to the closure on the Jewish holiday is still outstanding. And what makes it really worse is that for the school system to make a clandestine, a secretive meeting under the guise that this is really a counsel to client relationship. I don't see really any reason for hiding your discussion and the consultation from the lawyer from the public. There is no national security in that. There is no names of employees or HR matters. And in our schools, and I read quite a bit about outside schools, the US is really far behind. I still have 3 minutes, Mr. Schmidt.
Very creative.
Okay.
Go ahead, Dr. Pharoan.
All right, real quickly, all right? We are really truly behind the world, all right? And I don't see that really in the discussions, and I don't see it in the minutes, I don't see it on the website. My proposal to you is to compare us to those countries who excel outside, Denmark, Sweden, South Korea. Comparing us to, some other counties and some other school system and some other countries not doing well would not really do us good. We need to focus on the community problems and try to solve them. And last but not really least, if I may, I'm approaching 9 years now. Next meeting would be 9 full years. I think if we want to give a message to the public to be our best friend for the school system, the public needs to sit in the front. The employees needs to sit in the back. Some of us who, like myself, as we get older, our hearing gets affected, and it's really a constant problem, at least for me. The message of that, if the public is sitting in front, and if we as a school system answer every email, every letter, every meeting that has been made and made concerns, I think that really gives the public that this is our school system, and thus the public would be more inclined to contribute and donate to the school system as they do to private schools, which I really truly don't see that in the public school system. I don't see people donating to the school system as much as I see it in private schools. So I hope you take these as constructive criticism. I mean to improve on the system, although I am truly not well prepared today. So thank you very much for the 3 minutes plus.
Thank you, Doctor. Again,